Yeah, thank you, Connor. And it's great to hear that even through Irish people recognize the weather today is shite. And I haven't seen the stats before you chose, Connor, but I mean, when I saw them, it's kind of interesting, basically, what the total industry, what the marketplace over here is thinking versus that what PepsiCo just see. And the chart I'm going to show you, it's not just for PepsiCo in Ireland, it's kind of PepsiCo globally. So what you have seen over here, basically for Ireland, is pretty much the same picture we get from our global perspective, basically. So it looks like it's not just an Irish stuff, it's a more generational stuff, which is really interesting to see that kind of a closing together. Attraction and retaining top talent at PepsiCo. Well, before I start, maybe 2 or 3 words for PepsiCo. Well, Pepsi is a kind of a well-known brand, but the majority of the people may not know that PepsiCo is actually 50% bigger than our biggest competition, which is Coca-Cola. 50% bigger than Coke. And that's the reason behind it is we are not just playing in soft drinks like Pepsi or 7-Up. We are number 1 in sports drinks. We are number 1 in cereal. We are number 1 in snacks, Walkers, Doritos, for instance. And we are number 2 behind Coca-Cola in CSD products. So it's a huge company, 250,000 employees around the world. And we have more than 20 brands with more than 1 billion revenue around the globe. So it's a huge monster. And therefore we have lots of people basically who are just thinking about attracting and retaining talent. Hence, we have an armory of tools how we deal with this, and a few of them I will discuss basically in the next 10 to 15 minutes. A few words about me. Joerg Schuster, it's my name. I'm the GM of this Irish business over here since 2013. 17 years with PepsiCo, so you can clearly see that some of the people are really long with the company. I'm one of those. Before I worked for Ferrero, a chocolate company based in Germany. My background is marketing, sales, and franchise. We have a franchise relationship with our soft drink business over here in Ireland. Hence, I came over to this. And as you can hear on my accent, I'm always trying very strongly but unsuccessfully to get a Dublin accent. So as you can really hear, I'm not Irish. I'm German. So actually, I have no clue about rugby. So you can talk to me during lunch about everything, but rugby, I will be falling short. So talent, what does it actually mean for us? Well, I think you can wrap it up in 2 things: get them and keep them. So what would that mean? To get the right people, and then at the end of the day to keep the right people. Because getting the right people, it takes a lot of time and investment. Having the people in, train them, get them up to speed is another huge investment. And then you don't want to lose those people. After maybe a year, they start off paying off. So you need to ensure that all the investment you put into the people at the beginning, it's paying off at the end of the day. So it's a huge effort we need to do as a company to keep the people happy and with us. So starting with get them, what are we doing actually? A few years ago, we developed kind of a talent acquisition team. Now in every kind of country, so in Ireland as well, we have a dedicated team which is just there for talent acquisition. Actually, the name is a little bit kind of strange, I personally think, because it's talent acquisition looks like you're buying a car or something like that. We're talking about human beings, but well, anyway, that's the name of the team, and they are true experts in attracting and in getting in contact with people around in Ireland, but around Europe as well. And the mindset shift they want to do, and they are doing actually, is changing from post something and pray we get the right applications to the right pipeline filling. So. When I take a look to my business over here, we have always a few vacancies, but we have always kind of a long-time plan. So we are already talking with talent acquisition about potential vacancies in 1 year or in 2 years down the road. So they can build up relationships with people out there and say, well, you know what, we don't have something over here right now, but let's keep in contact and maybe there's something coming up down the road. And they were building a relationship, and once it comes to a play when we are looking for somebody, the time of getting the right person in is pretty much, it's much shorter, because we have already established a network and relationship with some of the people. The third one they are doing is actually understand our employer brand. We are kind of regular on a global basis, and right now in Ireland I'm running a survey where we talk to potential targeted people out there, say, what do you think about PepsiCo? Well, I mean, I'm not talking about PepsiCo as the brand per se, I'm talking about PepsiCo as an employee. As an employee in Ireland, what do you think about? What's important? What would you need to see from the company in order to get in your mind that you would like to work for PepsiCo? And out of this service which we're doing on a regular basis, there might be some really interesting insights, and then we adjust our kind of pipeline fill and how we engage with people according to this survey. The next one we're having a referral program. You just said, Connor, about 80% of the people are going to refer people in Ireland over here. It's a high number, or you would recommend this company to friends. I think it's exceptionally high over here in Ireland versus other European countries, exceptionally high over here. And hence we have a referral program. We know as well that when you refer people, the likelihood that they are going to succeed is significantly higher versus other people which didn't get to referral. And I think the main reason behind it is, when you talk to a friend who may think about applying for a job with PepsiCo, they're speaking with Struce and Kenter. It's not just a kind of a job opportunity where you talk about HR and the manager for applying for a job. You just have a true discussion and say, how is this company actually? And then at the end of the day, if you think, all right, that attracts me, I'm going to apply for a role, the likelihood that they are going to stay and succeed is much higher. What the guys are doing as well, globally and in Europe, is having success stories. Getting success stories out to say to the, via social media, to say, well, here are a few examples from people who made career within PepsiCo, so starting in PepsiCo and making their career paths from here to there, and that's their learnings. But as well, career paths basically where people from outside came to PepsiCo, maybe had some doubts, maybe had some expectations, maybe had some beliefs, and look how they progressed their career within PepsiCo. And that drives much more credibility than when you as a company just say, well, we are good here and there and there. And the last not least is actually be out there. Like events like today is a great opportunity for us as PepsiCo to build on our employer brand, and therefore get PepsiCo as an employer more on the radar screens of the people out there, and therefore we are using these events as well. So get them. Does it work? I have actually over here 3 ticks. It's reduced time, reduced cost, and it's retention. It sounds a little bit too easy, and it's not always black and white. Of course, net it works. Our shift in getting people to PepsiCo works, and the fact that we now have dedicated teams across Europe to really attract the right people for the company, it's actually paying out and it's working. However, it's hard work. You have to fight for the hard yards, and not every kind of shoot on the target is sitting on the target. Sometimes you're getting to the people and saying, well, at the end of the day, it doesn't pay out, or it takes longer than you may think. But overall, the direction is right, and the feedback we got from the market, the feedback we got from people who are working with PepsiCo now, or actually the feedback we got from people who were in the process but at the end of the day didn't get a role with PepsiCo is quite positive. Because that's what we do as well if we're going through a process of attracting people and applying people for a company. Not everybody can get a job. And maybe there are a few candidates and we just have one job, whatever. But we ensure that we're always having a very straight and open feedback to the candidate, and keeping in contact with them afterwards and say, well, that's the reason why you didn't get a job, and really help them understand what's drove the decision. And with this, we are building as well as our employer brand, our reputation within the market. All right. Then moving to keep them. A big thing, and you have shown it as well, Connor, a big thing which attracts people are, of course, career opportunities. It might differ between the below 35 and older than 35, but at the end of the day, career opportunities is a big driver for the people. So we have a PepsiCo career model, that's how we call it, and it's very open, it's very transparent, it's very clear for the people how to drive career. It's proven results, short term and long term. You need the right leadership ability. I come to that in a second. Functional excellence, knowing the business code and critical experience. And then once the opportunity comes, you get to the next stage. And especially this leadership capability is more and more important. And most of you guys over here, you're all senior people within your company. And your job is, I guess, less operational on the day-to-day. It's more leadership. It's more taking others with you, setting the direction and leading the company and the organization. So hence we're having a huge focus in driving leadership capabilities. And it's hugely important to progress your career within PepsiCo. So if we cascade it a little bit down, which kind of tools are we using within the company? Well, one of them is career progress. We call it ACE discussion. It's aspiration, engagement, and capability. And that's a kind of ongoing process. Actually, it's formalized on a yearly basis where you as an individual have a discussion with your manager and say, well, that's me. That's my ambition. That's my strengths. That's maybe my opportunities over here. I'm willing to relocate. I'm looking forward for a long time. Yes or no? I'm looking for a long time to grow in this direction or in this direction, and then having really an honest discussion with your manager. It doesn't help neither for the employee nor for the company if there's some ambiguity. You have to get the facts out on the table, and once you have done that, then you have an honest discussion. Say, well, you know what? This opportunity, well, this career wish or whatever objective over here, I'm not quite sure if you can fulfill that, or maybe not in the short term. And then you're starting engaging discussion. And then on the other side, if you as an employee don't put it on the table and say, well, I want to work abroad, I want to progress my career in this and this direction, how can the company support you in getting there? So we always encourage the people and the managers to have a really honest discussion about what's your ambition, what do you want to go for, and hence having a really true reflection about your strengths and your opportunities. Out of this cascades a people planning process where we across Europe take a look, who might be there for leadership roles right now, within 1 or 2 years, within 2 or 3 years, and within 5 years. So for me, for instance, as a GM in Ireland, there are benchmarks for my role. So there are people around Europe, which might be interested to become the GM in Ireland. And maybe they are not there yet, so they are maybe in the 5 years bucket. Maybe they are kind of close to getting there, so they are in a shorter bucket to become my successor in Ireland. And so we do it kind of for every kind of key role in the organization. And having transparent and open and transparent discussion about that, speaking with truth and candor really helps to satisfy the needs of the people as well. The second one is capability building, professional skills, but even more important as you grow your career ladder is leadership skills. We have a dedicated program for high potentials to make them quicker progress within the company, and of course functional curriculum to drive functional skills as well. Great place to work, and you mentioned it as well in your short presentation, Connor. It's not maybe just about salary and career opportunities. There are lots of different things. Social engagement was one of them. Culture was one of them. And we call it, we are measured by Great Place to Work. We call it internally organizational health, and a huge amount of small little bits and pieces which should drive the culture of the company and drive awareness and satisfaction basically with the company per se. And we are investing quite big in this. Empowerment. Sometimes we throw people into cold water and hope they swim. And funny enough, the majority of them, they swim. And at the end of the day, some of the people out there say, oh, Jesus, that was a tough time. But, all of them, actually, they like to be empowered. That's kind of a mantra of PepsiCo as well. Empower the people and stretch them and see what I can deliver and can do. And this empowerment basically becomes very positive and think, all right, Jesus, I'm here over here, but the company stretch me, so they have a belief in me. And it has a huge impact basically on the retention of people within the company. Feedback, kind of similar to the career discussion, but it's maybe more on the day-to-day job basis or on the kind of year-to-year job basis. Feedback session in written in both directions. So you're giving feedback to your manager, and your manager is going to give feedback to you, so that you know which kind of things are working, and you should build on this kind of strengths. But maybe even more, what kind of things can you do even better? or which kind of traps you may see, and if you're not seeing this kind of traps, you may fall into the trap and then having an issue. Or what kind of learnings you made out of the last project? Maybe it was a failure, but that's okay. But what's the learning out of this one? And regular feedback sessions that the people know exactly where they are is really important for the company. And we have this kind of regular as a kind of institution for each of one in our organization. And then last not least, you said, Connor, that salary is a huge driver for changing your company, which is right. But I think, which is right, but I think, well, and we know actually there's a step before. Before you engage with the outside the company, there has to be something, before. And we know that if people are really happy with your company, if the culture is right, if there are career opportunities, if they like the products, all these kind of bits and pieces, if all these kind of things are in the right place, they are not actually looking for outside opportunities. If a recruiter is calling them, they say, well, no, I'm not interested. They're not applying for LinkedIn stuff. So, but once they do that, once they are engaging with somebody out there, it's going to be tough to hold them back. And we know from research as well inside Pepsico, but as well outside Pepsico, the key driver why people are actually leaving the company, why they are driving dissatisfaction with them, is some of this kind of stuff, but actually about 70% of the dissatisfaction is the manager quality, the low engagement, the relationship with your manager. If this is not in the right place, there's a high likelihood that you're going to disengage and then be open for recruiters, open for LinkedIn, open for all this kind of opportunities out there. And then something comes along and you're gone. Hence, we are investing quite a lot of time and money and resources in improving manager quality. Again, regular feedback sessions, lots of HR tools which we have in place to ensure that everybody as a manager knows where he is, knows how to deliver and how to drive high-performing team, how to engage with people, how to retain people, and make it again kind of a great place to work within the company. That's it for me. Quick shot. Any questions, or are we going to questions the next week? Okay, good. Thank you very much.